turn up the Flow Rider, put on the Will Smith, save me a spot at the U, because just like Jonathan Taylor, the BadgeBros are trying to head to Miami. Let's go, boys.
Just like Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, man. Hey, I mean, I'm trying to get down there. I'm trying to go where the dogs go. I haven't been to Miami. I got to cross it off the old list.
Well, hey, this is one way to do it. We hope. I don't know. The Platform of the People has teased us with something Miami related. And I think we're all kind of thinking the same thing right now, hoping and wish casting that it's going to be some form of live meetup, live final, live event, live draft. I don't know. Just speculation at this point, but pretty exciting nonetheless.
Party in the city where the heat is on.
Not bad.
Bad. I got no phrase for you there. Yeah, last time I went to Florida was when I was like 6 months old. Went to freaking Disney World. So yeah, remembered it was a blast.
You went to Disney World at 6 months? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's funny enough. That's how the birthmark, and then this, you can't even see it. This giant scar came to be. Was I had way too much sun exposure. Yeah, it was gonna come on regardless, but it came on very heheavy. Big old birthmark.
Yeah. I thought like one of the creatures in like It's a Small World like fell on you or something. At least it was the Florida sun.
Oh man, no. I had a birthmark on there, and yeah, that's the only time. That's the only trip down there to Florida. So yeah, we can make the second
a memorable one.
Yeah, we can make the second one a little bit better, huh?
Miami just a little different than Orlando.
I would suspect.
Different demographic.
New time, still late. That is evergreen my fault. This is funny. Went to Miami, got kicked out of a $5 million oceanfront. We're not going to try and do that one. GA's got his speculations of his own here. Weekly BR Battle of Champions. That'd be pretty cool. If, each winner from each week of BR then met up. I mean, that'd be amazing.
So,
I don't know. Yeah.
So us three meeting up because we're going to take down every single week. I mean,
one can hope, man. That illustrious title has eluded all of us so far. So,
yeah.
Here's hoping.
I haven't won the main slate yet. That's going to be us this year. That's our white whale.
Damn straight. Hey, speaking of slates, last night, I don't know the guy's screen name because he didn't tag the lineup in it, but in the closer contest, Silver Bullet, the sweetest screenshot a player can possibly have, tagged us on Twitter there. The Twitter handle was like Icy something, right? Icy FF.
And that's his
his who he is on Underdog.
Yeah, it's Icy
same Underdog username.
Yeah, ICFFB. So
purple Abby, I believe.
Okay, cool.
Red shows for me, but regardless, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't in that contest, so I couldn't look it back up. But big shouts there. The Silver Bullet, 1 entry, 1 ship, 1K. Like, you just love to see that.
And that lineup was pretty nasty. I mean, I know you could have got it, but he got a little bit of a Luis Castillo cleared, like just hands above air, like any pitcher on the slate. And then, gets a little Matt Olson with the cheeky hottest hitter on earth, Marcell Ozuna, and then just goes ahead and gets the top end of that Arizona lineup. So, yeah, it was a well put together lineup. So,
actually, one little baseball thought. I'm so happy Ozzy Albies is back today so that the Michael Harris terrible dinger and whatever pick doesn't get home. I'm just so thankful that he's hitting in the 9 hole. Like, he could still get home and he could still be the piece you need, but I am low key just selfishly thankful that pick didn't turn into like something amazing.
Yeah, that would have been really tilting to see objectively bad pick get there, because literally at the start of the best ball playoffs, Albies goes in the IL. Like, it was, the timing was just like, oh my God, like you could see it clear as day. But don't got to worry about that now. So that's praise be.
What's the equivalent of that in BBM? It's like Breece Hall smashing all year and then goes down, and then Dalvin's the guy you need in the last 3 weeks. Probably.
I would say selfishly, it's more like Bigsby getting home in the last
Oh,
week.
Bigsby, yeah, okay, yeah, that's a good
I think
too.
that one's gonna have way more contingency value than or not contingency, but straight up value in the regular season than Bigsby will. So that would be tilting to see the Bigsby slappies get home on pure contingency whenever they are expecting him to just straight up take the job from him. Not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen. Yeah, and we're kind of forecasting here because I threw my exposures in the FantasyLife Best Ball Hub here, and I know you guys did the same here to do a little check-in. And I was pretty surprised that I knew I was team ETN versus Bigsby, and I'm pretty surprised that I ended up. I think it was 16 or 17% ETN at this moment in time, which is
Wow.
I thought, but I'm not mad about it by any stretch. I'm not mad because I knew it was a target of mine, and that third round running back was a target zone of mine. But I guess until just going through it all, I didn't recognize how big a target it had been.
That's cool. I like that. I like that stance a lot.
Okay, thank you. What do you guys think about the JT stuff? I led with the JT to Miami. There's a little bit of smoke there. Do you guys think anything's going to get done? Do you have a lean any which way with Jonathan Taylor?
No lean, no idea.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just waiting amongst everyone else. Like unless anyone else feels like they have a lean here, but yeah, I have no idea. Didn't they give him a Tuesday deadline? Was it this Tuesday or next Tuesday?
That's not like arbitrary. That is the deadline to remove him from the PUP list. And if they don't remove him from the PUP list by tomorrow, then he's missing the first 4 games guaranteed. So that's kind of like hey, get something done by Tuesday. The latest is that there's a mystery team involved along with Miami. And I wonder if it's Denver, because they were rumored to be involved with like Dalvin Cook, but then eventually like pulled their name out of the sweepstakes because he wanted an absurd amount of money. Well, this isn't signing a free agent running back. This is trading for a running back. I wouldn't be surprised to see them do something like make a move for Jonathan Taylor, but we'll see. We don't know who that mystery team is, but it does seem like he's going to get traded. I think that to me seems pretty obvious.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I mean, like my initial thought is if he doesn't get moved, he's just going to be like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm not that healthy and stay on the PUP and miss the first 4 games anyways.
Yeah, if there's actually health concerns with that ankle, if he's not just like, using his leverage, that could totally happen for sure.
Like if you're in his position, right? If you're in his position and you've kind of like had this lead up, you wanted the contract, you wanted to then get traded, then you've been searching for trade offers, and now all of a sudden, like it comes to decision day and nothing comes to fruition, wouldn't you just go like, yeah, team doctors have cleared you to play. Oh no, sorry, my independent physician says no, like this is not good for my career. Maybe I'll come back in 4 weeks and go on the PUP. Because this trade
surely.
Yeah, because this trade deadline is just completely artificial. It's just made up by them.
Right. But they clearly don't want to like take a roster like they for whatever reason, that 52nd man, they're like, we don't want to get rid of this guy. That number 52 on that roster. It's gonna be interesting to see what takes place there. But I do feel like he's gonna get moved.
Yeah. I kind of agree with Nick here. Like mystery team in quotations, right? Like that just seems like agents layering BS and like feeding, the sources. Does it not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I buy it. It does, but I'm buying it. I feel like
you're a big reality TV guy, Nez. You like The Bachelor? You cuddle up on the couch, watch The Bachelor on Monday nights. You like it?
How do we get to that to the Bachelor? I must have missed. I don't know if
fictitious narratives. You're just fucking scooping them up. You're
idea.
zeking the narratives. You're zeking the narratives right now.
No, but dude, he doesn't want to play for the Colts. Will. He does like. This is personal. This is extremely personal with what's going on. What's going on here? And yeah, I think the holdup is like somebody else needs to give him that contract. I think is what the holdup is like wherever he goes. That's part of why he's involved with the negotiations. Is he needs to find a place that will give him a contract that he will sign to. and that might just not happen. But hey, man, if he doesn't get traded, I would be really, really nervous that he plays a game for the Colts.
I like this point by Neil too, like that, they might not be able to afford him in general, both in terms of picks and money next year for a contract. So maybe Miami doesn't even make sense. Like they gave both Mostert and Jeff Wilson those 2-year deals with some guaranteed money attached to them. So yeah, I don't know. It's fun to do these little speculative things. It's why the NFL is so king, right? Because we just could talk about this fictitious narrative forever, right? Like we could speculate for days on end, right?
Yeah.
I want to talk about my home league last night. We had I want to say why we're so early.
Starting the timer. You get 90 seconds to talk about this.
It's about Underdog.
Okay.
We are so early. These guys play like NFFC, they play FFPC stuff, they play some high stakes stuff. The league that we were in last night is a 1K league, and these guys are, they're sicko hardos for football. None of them had ever drafted a BBM team before. Like they got spreadsheets. Yeah, man. I couldn't believe it. I was like, dude, you guys don't I don't share the content with them or I don't really tell anyone in real life that we do this stuff. So
are you ashamed of us?
No, not at all. It's just I don't know.
People come over, he hides all the shirts and the mugs and anything that I get. Like people come over for Christmas. He's like, gotta get the deposit kingdom down. Gotta move this. Gotta do that.
Oh, we were friends, but anyways,
can't let people know at all.
Yeah, but I don't know. So I just let one of the guys. We kind of did it like a round table exercise. We were sitting at big table doing our draft, and I was like, I'm just gonna pull up a BBM at the same time. And let's just vote who we pick next, right? So we built a team together, almost as if you were on stream like this, but everybody kind of had a vote and stuff. Oh my God. I was embarrassed to have my name attached to it. We got
the team.
Naked Tua Snipe. Okay, I'll bring it up right now. A Naked Tua Snipe. It's abysmal, guys. I'm so sorry for anyone who found themselves in that given draft. Here you go. Jamar Chase, Chris Olave, not bad. Then they voted for the Gibbs reach. The Fields was an auto draft.
It's good.
JSN, they just didn't understand that ADPs change and that we could wait a little bit and potentially get him at another point in time. They didn't get the whole portfolio thing. And then when you have JSN, you got to make sure you get Jameson Williams as well. Because if you have one receiver not playing for the first 4 weeks, you got to at least have another one who doesn't play 6, right? So that was a pretty sharp one there. And then Naked Tua, after all the stacking partners are gone, just because, he was top of the queue. They're like, yeah, we got to stay tethered to this one. McCole Hardman, 45 picks ahead of ADP.
What?
Yes, I wasted one good BBM bullet on these people. They had a feeling. They have a gut feeling here. Hyatt,
nice Hyatt value.
Hyatt, Chase Claypool, DPJ, and then I made them take Durham Smythe so that at least Tua wasn't completely unstacked. So that in case this team wins $3 million, but I was clowning them all night. I was like, if this team wins $3 million, I'm not telling a soul. We're going to pretend it wasn't me. I'm going to say,
Yeah, nope. Run the hook now to share that. That is a beautiful, beautiful team, man.
Dude,
that's a beautiful disaster.
That's hilarious because my dad is doing a home league or did a home league, and he was doing it with a bunch of people that only really do it for fun. And he was demanding that I only play for money. So he got everyone to fork over $50. Yeah. And then he's asking me for opinions, yada, yada. I'm like, I can send you rankings if you want, for half point PPR, whatever you're doing. I just sent him the Underdog ADP and then just literally changed ADP to rank. And then just made it so it was a whole number, so it looked like a rank. And he just ended up just going off that and just drafted just a banger of a team.
He's gonna crush his league.
It was amazing. It was amazing. He just goes, "This is so much different from the sleeper ADP." I'm like, "Yeah, yes, it is. Yes, it is."
Your friends might be closet piss boys there, John. I'm just gonna say, take that.
Well, I'll show you the draft board from the other one. from the actual one real quick here, because you'll see that they were not, but based on my team. Tom, appreciate this, man. We're getting paid in euros out here. Is that euros or pounds? That's pounds? That might be straight from the UK. That might be pounds, man. That's good money out there. That's 1,300 Canadian dollars. It's 1,300 Canadian dollars. It's 20 USD. It's 1,300 Canadian dollars. Appreciate you, Tom. Tom makes great content. Much better than ours. Go check his channel out, Fantasy Sanctuary. But appreciate that, man. Yeah, I labeled that team. Yeah, not John's, basically. Yeah, I named it after the guys. I'll show you this one though. Oh, where's my team? I started, it's a 2 QB league. It's standard scoring. And I started with Jefferson, Kupp, CeeDee Lamb.
And to reiterate, it's standard scoring.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 3 wide receiver spots, standard scoring. And I was like, you could take the piss boy off the platform, but you can't take the piss out of the boy. Here we go. But we ended up with
Warren, so you're good.
Yeah, we really punted running back, did the Breece Hall thing, did the James Cook thing, took Mark Andrews where I probably should have taken a running back, but I just loved it too much and was like, I could figure it out. And then I took Kyler Murray like way too early just so because there's 3 IR spots, so I could just put him on IR.
Nice.
Yeah. Yes, this is how ridiculous it is. These guys are straight degens. They're such beauties, but they're like old school like poker guys, and just they love to just gamble on sports. So
have you won this league before?
Standardly. Yeah, but not in recent memory. Like 5-6 years ago, maybe something like that. I actually had one of the worst beats of my life in this one because there's an IDP slot as well, and I lost on a Monday night. This is actually, I'll never forget it. Monday Night Football, Falcons versus Niners. I had Matt Ryan. Pick 6 is -5 in this league. He throws a pick 6 to the guy on the other team who has Patrick Willis and San Francisco 49ers defense. So he double dips the score. He double dips the pick 6 score from Patrick Willis. And then I get the -5 to Matt Ryan, and he won by like 1 point something. And it was like a
50-point swing.
Yeah, it was. It literally was. And it was like, I remember because I wasn't even watching too. I was out at the Christmas market with Nikki. I remember that so vividly.
That had to be like that's over 8 years ago.
Yeah, it was something like that.
It was over 8 to 10 years ago. That he retired in 2015. So
dude, that's why I'm like, I dead ass will never forget that, you know?
Oh, wow.
I'll never forget that. It was one of the best. Anyways, enough. Nobody gives a fuck about my teams. Story time's over. Let's talk about some other things. Oh, I wanted to talk about I put Michael Thomas on the cover real quick before we get into the exposures stuff. I'll bring up mine first, but if you guys want to preload your ones on the side here. But I want to talk about the Michael Thomas thing because I saw Davis tweet out his exposure. It was something like 53 or 48% or 58%. I can't even remember what the number was right now. And it was like $3,600 worth of entries on like 400 teams to Michael Thomas. And I just wanted to, I said something nice in the tweet, like commending him on that, but I just wanted to reiterate, like we talk about this stuff with the daily contest all the time, like balanced versus exploitative play. It's not which is right and which is wrong. It's a risk tolerance exercise. If you are comfortable being wrong to that level of capital, which clearly Davis is fine with, by all means, like that's an amazing way to play this game, right? So I just hate when people come out of the woodwork and they just, oh, you're such an idiot. Like don't do stuff like that. And this goes not just for Davis, but for anyone who's just like, you know, takes stands in these contests, right? And I precursor that before showing our exposures because it's like, man, this is just like a play style exercise. It's not right or wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's awesome. I don't do that with any of my players. Even in baseball, even with Mitch Keller, I wasn't at 50% Mitch Keller and he was free. So like, I think it's a hell of a stance. And dude, if it hits, good. That's. I mean, just imagine. Like, just think for one moment. Mm-hmm. If Michael Thomas plays like 10 games, not even all games. If he just plays 10 games, probably a smash at where he goes. Right. Like. Right. Probably a smash.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Davis Peng. There you go. I was answering a question in the chat there. Wu-Tang Killer Bees. Appreciate you signing up. Appreciate that.
Oh, let's go, man.
Best baseball grinder. Yeah, this is the perfect analogy, Randy. Just saying, like, Leone did it where he thought he had an exploitative spot. Hideki in the Masters, that was going to be his spot. He goes 150 out of 150 lineups with him. Like,
that's wild.
That is so badass.
I can only dream of doing something like that.
Yeah, it's alpha play.
I don't have the stones for that.
No. My exposures thus far. Cortland Sutton. Actually, I'm gonna give that a zoomer too. That's pretty there. We might be down bad. We might not make it with Lenny and Kareem Hunt there. I was just routinely for that main draft window through June, just tapping them in the 18th round over and over again. Like, hey, this price can only go up. It can only go up. Oh, by the way, they can also never play football again. Idiot.
You just need the CJ Anderson storyline for those guys, right? Like, I don't know what team it is. I don't want to put any bad juju on any team, but let's say there's a team out there and the offense is just running so pure, and you can put any warm body in that backfield and they're an RB1. That's all you need, man. That's all you need. Just little late season signing, run pure, baby.
Yeah, I thank you for putting my mind at bay there. I have been eating up that middle tier of tight end with Pitts and Kittle as they've been falling and Waller's been rising, and then been taking a good amount of Andrews. I am going to probably be holding the bag on Schultz. Doesn't feel great based on the preseason usage that we've seen with the first team offense. Might be down bad there. Wide receiver, the Thornton one stings right now. I was doing a lot of Adams stuff prior to the calf injury. I think some of this is draft slot dependent, obviously, just the way Adams was lining up with the slots in which I was rolling. But all in all, pretty balanced, man. Like 23%, kind of stands out a little bit, but nothing crazy. Definitely a more conservative approach, I guess, than potential, but some Warren up there. I might be holding the bag on Jonathan Taylor, Miller, ATN. Yeah. And then Jeff Wilson, he was my bet in the Miami backfield, and I basically wasn't taking anybody else. And Richardson, Staff, Purdy, might be holding the Kyler bag if he doesn't come back after 4 weeks of football. Yeah.
I like it. I like your running back exposures. I've been looking at my running back exposures as well, and just kind of like not marveling, maybe that's the wrong word, but like I'm not used to having this many stud running backs at the top of my exposures. The last 2 years, it has not looked like that for my exposures at all. So like right now, the fact that I'm on my end, my top 5 are not stud running backs, but you don't have to go far down to see 15% Breece Hall, 15% Saquon, 14% CMC. I normally don't run like that. So it's going to be really interesting to see. I really have kind of changed the way that I've drafted, and obviously a lot of it is because of the ADP landscape. But it's just really cool to like go pop in here and just like see what kind of closing line value we've got. So here's my BBM. I believe this is 89 teams at the time that I emailed this CSV to myself, but I talked about it on Twitter a little bit today. I showed everybody my Herbert, Foreman, and Roschon stance and what I'm doing there, and didn't get a lot of responses, which typically means that people don't like it. Because I don't get a lot of trolls. I don't get a lot of like meanness in my mentions. So anytime I do something that's a little bit out there, and I know the people aren't feeling it, I usually don't get a lot in response. So I guess I'll turn it over to you guys. Is this
that's because the Badge Brigade's such a nice community,
They are. They're afraid to tell me that I'm an idiot, because I'll be like, because I'm not gonna like fight back. I'm gonna be like, yeah, like I'm definitely not smart. Like, like, cool, you got me. Like, tell me something I don't know. but yeah, like these like a lot of these guys that are high capital at running back, I've been opting to take, and I thought I would have more Derrick Henry on here. Oh, there he is. He's just hiding on the next page. So even like Chubb, Eckler, Henry, like these are like a lot of the top running backs at the top of my exposure. So we'll see how things work out here.
Yeah. I mean, I like the Herbert and Warren stuff for sure. You obviously that looks nice with the closing line value side. I don't know how I feel about having 3 running backs from the same team in the same, like in the top 5 there. Like, I think that is, I mean, that's classic double condom Nez if you're going to ask me, but like that's, I mean, it's a concerted bet on the offense and they can definitely get home in some capacity, but I don't think there's any way that all 3 can, but maybe that doesn't matter because a third of your rosters have 1 and 1 and 1. So as long as 1 gets home, a third of your bullets are low key still alive, or a quarter of your bullets.
Yeah, it's kind of what I like about this too is you can see like the combinatorial stuff. So if I type in Herbert and I also pull up let's do Roshan. I think I probably have more Herbert Roshan than Foreman Herbert, and then I can see every single like team that I have them paired with, and it's probably going to be more than people like. I'll be totally honest about that. So we'll see how many teams I have those 2 paired together with. It's probably way more. It's obviously a better bet if you do them on other teams, but I think it can. You talk. Everybody's handcuffing has been kind of a hot topic in best ball these days. I don't think it's a horrible idea.
Yeah, I mean the Roshan one too. Is like he could have standalone value if they utilize him. Like there's been some talk after the last preseason game that it was him working over Foreman to be the third down guy as the receiving role, and maybe Travis Homer, the money that they got, and him playing special teams doesn't matter as much to them as they think, as we originally thought, or some of us originally thought. So I mean, Roshan being their third down guy might be huge. I mean, that might be a thing.
It's definitely not Homer. I will say we could put that to rest. All the beat writers are saying that it's Roshan, it's Herbert, and it's Foreman, and Ebner, I believe, is hurt right now as well. Or maybe it's I'd have to pull up the article, but like these are like the top 3. But yeah, what's cool is you can see here all the teams I have them paired. I have them on 4 BBM teams together. So just for example, here's one. Hopefully this is not a terrible looking team. Yep. This is not a good team to share, but we're going to share it. This was my early days of my early days. I have 2 Mike White shares in BBM whenever I was gal-braining hard. But I like the Bijan with these 2 and a little Jalen at pick 150. Come on, son.
Yeah,
on, son.
That's nice.
I actually like this team. It's just that Mike White is just so gal brain that it's unnecessary. But I was having fun early on. But yeah, no, it's super easy to just like click on these. Oh, I did it in a Bulldog. Should I show the Bulldog team?
Sure.
All right.
Don't wish this upon our guy here. Don't wish this upon our guy.
Dude, if they trade for JT, then it's over for your boy. It's so over. Yeah, so this was my OG Bulldog that I did. Was Zeke and Hunt on that team too?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. You're celebrating like chef's kiss, and then Mike White, oh shit. And
then, dude, we already talked about the best case scenario for those guys. But yeah, this team is a little thin at QB with Geno and Pickett, but with the Pickett rise, I feel a little better about that. But this has 2 handcuffed running backs on it. You got Jacobs and Zamir before, this was like, it was a slow, so I was getting a little worried. There's Lenny once again, a lot of Lenny, and then took both of these guys here. So this was an interesting one. I think this Bulldog has extremely friendly advance rates. It's like 4 out of 12, I think. So
might Gerardo, be able to still sneak it.
Yeah, this is the FantasyLife Best Ball Hub. It's free. So if you go to FantasyLife.com. Go to tools, look for the Best Ball Hub, just create an account and upload your CSV. It's totally free.
There you go.
So enough with my my Herbert stuff.
Yeah. Let's see, Neumy, what do you got there?
Oh goodness.
Or let's see, Nez, go back to all 4. I want to see not running backs. I want to see the rest of your exposure.
This is BBM.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. So Kyle Pitts is your highest exposed player.
Yeah, I was trying to curtail that, but now that he goes at pick 80, dude, like, what am I to do? Like, if he doesn't, like, I'm already dead. I'm already dead. So I
Is
got
that 16% Justin Jefferson? Did you run that pure? Okay, good.
Van.
Just making sure. Just making sure
Yeah.
you didn't run that pure.
I was doing pretty well on CLV with him, and then he kind of like fell. Like he rose like early, and then kind of fell. My Kyle Pitts, I think, is my worst CL like closing line value, I believe. Or Foreman is not good right now, but I'm buying the dip on Foreman.
Nice. Neumy, let's see this bad boy here. What do you got here? Give us a couple
in there.
zooms.
Yeah, so closing line value for me, you're gonna see some
Andrews.
guys that look terrible right off the bat with Pierce. But yeah, this is the top group there, and this is all tournaments because I am not going heavy into BPM or BBM as I'm doing a lot of the smaller stuff. But yeah, this is what we're working with. Yeah, we got Mandrews at the tip top. My mantra has always been, why take Travis Kelce when you can take Mark Andrews in the third, and then at one point the fourth, where he was going. Yeah, we got a lot of Chuba. Chuba has just been a fifth and sixth back over and over again that I've just been adding on to teams. I know Miles Sanders is there. Miles Sanders has never moved me, so I like that there. Yeah, the wideouts are interesting in Alec Pierce, but I'm a big guy on the Colts pass game. You're going to see A-Rich there with Pittman.
I love how you're playing it.
Yeah, and then Tyquan sucks. That hurts a lot going at 185 for a lot of that picks, but it is what it is. Such a late pick that. Yeah, and a lot of people are as well. So well, but and then we got Javante. Then we start getting into some fun stuff with Javante. Big Mike. One thing that I think is and it hurts as well with the closing line values. But one thing that's different from the recent chatter and you guys as well is you're all on that Dameon Pierce, and I went a total different route and then just went Devin Singletary, and I was never I barely. I mean, if we went ahead and looked here, what is it? You going here?
Yep.
Do I have any? It's interesting to see how much Pierce I would have, but when you were talking about ETN and talking him up, just that was fun to see. 18% total throughout all my contests. I've been full ETN, no tank.
I love it, man.
So I'm with you there. Kendre's there. That 5% exposure to Dameon Pierce across all contests versus a 21% exposure to Devin Singletary. Whether it's right or wrong, who knows? We'll see. But yeah, that's what we're kind of working with. That's the quarterbacks. You will get that out of there.
Justin Fields, man. Ooh, you are just talking my language right now, bro.
Playing all the hits, baby.
Jay Fields, Rich, Matthew Stafford, and then just kind of a conglomerate of everyone there.
Yeah, pretty similar there with the quarterback stuff.
GA asked a really good question in the chat. I don't know if you saw.
I didn't. Well, we'll get there.
You did not find that funny at all. We'll
get there. We'll get there. We've got a couple. Luckily, we've got a few more shares. But yeah, this is the running back exposure. I know everyone's waiting to see this amazing Justin Jefferson exposure here to the right. But yeah, 4% we're looking like. So
you hate to see it.
Yeah,
you can. We'll be able to count the number of teams on one hand, I think.
Fuck you, Nez. Fuck you. Yeah. What you said with the elite RB, I felt that too. As this is a lot more in elite RB that I'm normally getting, just because you have JT up that high. Pollard was someone that was way up there before he kind of fell in my exposures. Wideouts, that's what we're looking like. Yeah,
Adams as well.
Yeah,
Michael Thomas, Bateman. Yeah, you and I got some similar overlap here, and we were all on Pitts. We all got Pitts over 10%. You got 13.
And
he's got 20. Whatever.
Knox ADP, I just don't understand as I'm continuing to just eat that up. But he continues to fall. I continue to wait for my second tight end and then just take Dawson Knox that I was taking in these slows.
Well, there was some. I put in my notes here that there's some FUD around Kincaid after the weekend and stuff like that, where he was only been used in 2 tight end sets, and the slot was being used by Hardy, and the first team offense, it was Knox was out there for I'm gonna pull it back up. I don't want to misquote, but I think he was out there for like 5 more snaps than Kincaid was. I mean, it's just one isolated spot. But if the slot rule does not go Kincaid's way, I mean, he might be in a little bit of trouble. Yeah.
He feels like a guy that's going to have a low advance rate. Not to say that he's a bad pick in best ball, but he's more likely than not to have a low advance rate. Just because of the price, I mean, the price is just baking in like usage in the regular season at tight end, and that just doesn't feel like a safe bet. But I'm like at market on Kincaid, so nothing too crazy. I didn't want to miss the boat just in case.
True. Yeah, I felt more like I didn't want to miss the boat on Laporta for whatever reason. Laporta was the guy that I was a little more aggressive on than Kincaid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why, but that was just like my initial stance or whatever. Anyways, fun exercise there. Let's see. Waller was 6%. I was just curious what that was.
Oh, yeah. I was going to look for Laporta and look for there's Laporta at 5. So.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, cool. Fun exercise that everybody can mess around with. What do you say? I got some other notes here and stuff.
Run through them.
Actually, while everybody is hanging out, do us a favor. We got 60 of us hanging out. Do us a favor, hit that like, that subscribe, that follow. We got some fun, big announcements coming Wednesday morning, normal time slot. Pete is going to join us. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 good announcements. Irons in the fire, one might say. Some fun stuff, some teaser stuff. One that I could tease right now is I think Nez and I, at the very least, are going to be joining the ship chasing crew in Vegas for some drafts there. So that's one possible thing that might be going down. And then the other ones we will save, but for Wednesday morning. But you're going to want to be subscribed to the Underdog HQ channel, and you are going to want to be have a couple shekels in your Underdog account come Wednesday at about 12 p.m. Eastern. How about that?
I'm excited.
Who knows?
I'm excited.
Anything can happen. What do you guys say we just jump into BBM here and see what happens?
Yeah, why not?
Well,
John's entering right now. He's in.
10 spots.
More? I'm gonna throw you on stream.
This is gonna be full friends and family. Here we go.
There we go. 9 spots.
Yeah, I mean, do you have more bits of news to run through for the NFL?
Yeah, for sure. We got tons of stuff we could talk about. I wanted to talk about Brown's backfield for a second, because I think Jerome Ford is a prime candidate to be on the PUP list to start the season on Tuesday. Still not healthy. They made the trade for Pierre Strong over the weekend there, and yeah, I don't know. They must hate Kareem Hunt to not even consider bringing him back. But yeah,
it seems like there's been bad blood there dating back to last season. Didn't he want to get traded last season?
Yeah, I think he wanted like a more expanded role, and then he was kind of pushing for the trade.
That's what it seemed like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, so I was kind of thinking through. I mean, Strong, Felton, Kelly. None of it sounds overly great or necessarily draftable at the end of drafts there. But I wanted to note just kind of the situation and what was happening there, and that I'm kind of off of Ford at the back end of drafts. And then the other thing was that Deshaun Watson, over the course of the preseason, Warren Sharp threw out a tweet today saying that he played 46 or 48% of snaps in empty sets. The first team offense did. So it wasn't necessarily Deshaun the whole time. First team offense. They played with empty sets, no running back in the backfield, which is not a running back thing. It's a schematic thing. So I'm not really sure what to make of that, but I just thought I'd throw it out there.
Which team was that?
Browns. Yeah.
That's
kind of went hand in hand.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Would not expect that a lot from them. Yeah. I think the Ford on PUP feels inevitable, but Jerome Ford, I know people have been saying this about like JSN, which like it's so different when you factor in their price. Jerome Ford was 100% a late season play. He is not somebody that you are looking to give you points unless something happens to Nick Chubb, and there's a huge vacancy there.
You guys want to have a little fun and take Bijan here?
Let's do it.
I don't.
Got it.
I
believe.
I haven't taken a ton yet.
I believe a co-host, and I'm not going to name that co-host, but was clamoring that Bijan would only continue to rise and might crack top 5 by the end of draft season. And what does he only continue to do in that fashion? Is continue to just start low and then just continue to rise up.
He's creeping. He's creeping. I don't think I'm gonna have enough time for him to crack top 5, but
if you had an extra half month, I think he could get there. Half month in the 4th preseason game, and he gets there.
I think so too. But we'll take this, dude. I'm taking all the Bijan that falls to me for certain. I think most people kind of come around to who Bijan is and like what kind of opportunity he has. But yeah, to me, man, it's just like we are given a stud running back prospect. Here you go. He's been hyped for years, and then I'm just surprised that he isn't a little higher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely warming up to it. Definitely thinking through like the range of outcomes with just him as a player and the Arthur Smith stuff. But I just can't click his name over Austin Eckler. I can click it in the spot that we had it there, but I have a really hard time clicking it over Eckler, over Kelsey, or any of those other wide receivers if they happen to fall in like Tyreek and whatnot there.
See, I don't over the wide receiver. I do over the wide receivers, but over Kelsey and Eckler, I don't think I do. I think I'd be willing to just. There's no feelings there. Just take Bijan like it's no problem.
You guys saw my Devontae Adams exposure. We can add to it here.
Yep.
We could do something funky and do like Tony Pollard, and then like run a double hero and shut it down for a bit. I'd be really open to that. What do you guys want to do?
Let's do it. Let's do Tony Pollard. I like that actually.
Agreed.
Okay. All right, let's do it. See what happens.
Let me I want to pull up a tweet, or not pull up, but just like read out a tweet here. 1 second here while I find it. Sorry, I'm totally blanking.
No worries. We could talk about Cardinals situation for a second there. Do you guys think Clayton Tune starts the year as the quarterback 1?
I think it's Dobbs.
Yeah.
Just because of the trade, but
yeah.
It should be Tune.
Yeah. You wouldn't trade for a backup?
Most organizations wouldn't give up a 5th round pick for a guy to sit the bench.
Yeah, fair enough.
I would take. I'm like Neumy though. I would take Bijan over Kelsey. I think Kelsey is just like really expensive and is a year older than he was last year, and he needs to just completely blow his peers out of the water. I'm not sure that'll happen. I found the tweet. This is from Brian Drake. He's from Fantasy Football Hustle. I followed him for a while. Good follow. He was tweeted out the 2022. So last year, percent of team carries inside the 5-yard line. Number 6 on this list. This in order. Zeke Elliott was 6 on this list for the Cowboys at 70% of the carries inside the 5. So you can look at the depth chart, do the math. Looks like a lot of opportunity coming Tony Pollard's way, and those are obviously extremely valuable touches. That's gold for fantasy running backs.
Well, I remember the narrative with Austin Eckler last year where he doesn't get the high value touches and they'll use a bigger back when it comes to the goal line, and then he proceeds to score like 20 touchdowns.
Yeah, he was like incredibly efficient. He's not top 7 on this list, by the way. Number 7, the last on the list that he tweeted, is Lenny at 68%. Surprisingly, Eckler not on this list, but all I remember is Eckler just being mad efficient at the goal line.
Well, I was my comparison with the Eckler thing was comparing to how people view Tony Pollard right now.
Yeah, they're worried that Pollard won't get the goal line carries.
Yeah. They worry that someone just replaces the Zeke role with not Pollard. They go like Rico's way or something. That's
what I thought initially, until they didn't bring anybody in. And if Pollard probably doesn't crack top 7 in backfield percentages to himself within the 5, but he's definitely going to get the majority of, even if it's not 50%. If there's more than 3 backs involved at the goal line, he's definitely going to have the most.
Come week 6 when Pollard's out a little bit too much, Jerry is going to be calling Uncle Lenny.
Seriously, dude.
Man. We were joking last night at the fantasy draft that like the trade for Trey Lance and stuff like that Jerry just runs his team like we would just run our own fantasy teams. Like,
right.
Just like, yeah, fuck it. Just get Trey Lance, man. Like, let's just do it. See what happens.
Yeah, you never know.
I don't think there's much of a debate other than just taking
no.
Andrews here.
Yeah,
cool.
Please click them fast.
I mean, it's kind of weird to spend 3 picks on running back and tight end in the first 3 rounds here, but
we'll make it work.
Let's see what happens. Yeah,
it could be advantageous to take 3 guys that score a lot of points, though. So who knows? Who knows?
Could that be advantageous? That's all right.
I hadn't thought about it before, but after doing some research, it turns out that picking guys that are good at football is good for your fantasy football outcomes. So
you don't say.
I've been in the lab cooking that one up.
You bet. Dusting off that NHL model, and all of a sudden he just came to that fruition.
Yeah.
Like,
whoa. I looked at the results last year, and the best teams had the guys that scored a lot of points on them.
There is positive correlation between guys scoring points and your team doing well.
That's what we found. Josh Jacobs here went really early.
That's what I wanted to hit on. I wanted to hit on that, and we had a Lamar sweat there. I wasn't trying to say anything out loud, but we had a cheeky Lamar sweat, that like the impossible Lamar sweat. But we had one for half second there.
That would have been cool.
Yeah,
that would have been absolutely nutty.
Yeah, Jacobs is back, and they gave him a little bit of cash to make him feel better about himself. So now all of a sudden, Josh Jacobs is going as like the safer of this tier and getting pushed up. Do you guys agree with it? You like it?
I don't know that I'll take him there. I'll take him like at the 2-3 turn all day, though.
Okay. Christian Watson, Big Mike.
I'm Watson or DJ Moore.
Yeah, Watson, Big Mike, or do something absolutely crazy and then shut it the F down with Travis Etienne. That's my 2 things. Or 3
just go 3 running backs?
Yeah, but I also like Watson and Big Mike.
Let's take Watson.
I really like warming up to Christian Watson.
Yeah, me too, actually. I think we're all coming around on the Packers low key, right?
I'm high key.
6 games against that secondary, and then whatever else they get to play, plus an improved. And I think we agree we're betting on the talent that we think Christian Watson is. Like, yeah, I enjoy Christian Watson a lot here in the 4th.
There's something about the kind of player that can take a slant to the house, like think about like rookie season Odell, right? You take a slant, like just like an 8-yard slant, and you can somehow make 2 guys miss, and the DB, like the nickel corner's trailing you because you're so fast, and you can score. Like there are how many guys in the league that can do that? 10, 15, something like that. And Christian Watson's one of those guys.
Yeah, let us not forget that he dropped a basically opening, was going to be 70-yard bomb to start the game against week 1. So what could have been?
Touching tribute to MVS that week.
Oh, yeah.
I remember it well.
Yeah, he's really intriguing to me. Hasn't seen more than 8 targets yet in a game. But in one of the games where he did receive 8 targets, he took 3 for a score. To me, he just seems like this. He answered all the questions that I had about him in his rookie season. And coming into his rookie season, I was like, dude, this guy looks like a freak. Like you watch his film, he was giving me like, and granted, he was at North Dakota State, I believe, right? Or like some very small school. And he was giving me like Jameson Williams vibes as far as like the speed.
NDSU. Yeah.
It just like the dude on film, like just did not be long with those players. He was so clearly better. And I'm like, well, what's he going to do when he gets to the NFL? Is this going to hold up? And he looked like he belonged in the NFL and was embarrassing dude, like, and had that same burning, like blazing skill at the NFL. Very much like into Christian Watson as being somebody that next year we're drafting in the 2nd round.
Yeah,
People
I mean, I could
people
see
were
it.
burned on NDSU, man. People, I mean, they just had Trey Lance in their minds, and all of a sudden they
Yeah.
have this another NDSU kid that the Packers trade up for. Packers, with their talent evaluation, yada yada. So, yeah, they have NDSU FCS school. Oh my goodness, can't do this again. Like you look at the talent he's going up against, and then so I mean that had a lot to do with it. Myself included for a bit, but he do feel like he is the truth there. So.
Yeah, I mean, what if the narrative when we look back in like 3 years is that Christian Watson made Trey Lance, and we just didn't look hard enough. You know what I mean?
That would be funny. I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, it's not true, but that's
Wouldn't that be crazy though if that was like the flip narrative?
I mean, yeah. Oh boy. All right.
We get the Judy fall. We didn't look at the ADP data yet, but he's the biggest faller this week, or one of them. This is a really weird range right now. Lockett feels good. We
like
kind of need we need a little safety net on our team, I think.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know that I would call him a safety net, but he provides a lot of spikes. I mean, we're going to attack wide receiver with a lot of volume on this team, most likely. So why not just get a guy that creates like a floor. So we want Lockett because we know what Lockett can do. John, in your list, did you have anything in there about Quentin Johnson in his preseason usage?
Yeah, I did. Can I ask you one question before that one though?
Yeah.
Just while we're on this for a second, just in this range of the draft, I think the biggest argument I could make against how we started right now is just looking at the board in this range. I like all of the running backs and the tight ends more than this range. There's one wide receiver that I want to come back to us, and that's it.
I guess I'd have different views on these wideouts and some of these running backs.
Okay.
I like J.K. Dobbins a lot, but like Miles Sanders and Cam Akers, I have a lot of right. Like, so I'm glad that we don't have to worry about taking them. But like those tight ends, I do really like. I agree with you there for sure.
Yeah. Dobson and Pickens didn't come back. That sucks. Like I was thinking about like Pierce, I really like there. Dobbins, I really like there. Kittle, I really like there. Sorry, Madison, I really like there. Like just cost adjusted way more than taking like Tyler Lockett and Chris Godwin right here. But I do think Chris Godwin is kind of in a better tier than this grouping.
JSN is my my choice here.
Oh, man. I just can't do it.
We got good news.
Yeah, but like he misses like 3 or 4 weeks. Then he comes back. Like, okay, let's say he misses bull case, he misses 2 to 3 weeks, right? Because that was like the timing that they gave us. He's still a rookie wide receiver. Like Pete's kind of old school like that. They work him back in. Like they might just do some weird shit with that team. Like play, backup running backs over like Charbonnet and stuff like that. I don't know. I just don't trust it. But yeah,
I think they just told us that like things are good with him because they have a bye week 5. Like, why wouldn't they just like pup him and give him five full clean weeks?
That's kind of what I thought was going to happen for sure. Like that's like what I just thought was going to happen for sure. Was it was 4 weeks of pup, then the bye week in week 5, and then he'd just play the rest of the year, and it would still take a little bit to work in. I don't know. I think he's bad for this team that we're building. When we spend 3 picks in the first 3, not at wide receiver.
That's fair. I look at the volume that we have basically like shoehorned ourselves into at wide receiver and think that we can make that up via volume. That's how I play it. Obviously.
Yeah.
No right or wrong answer there, but
yeah. Yeah, okay.
But I'm not worried. I will say though, I'm not worried about him when he's healthy, like at all.
Okay. Yeah.
They took him really early, and he's an extremely talented prospect.
Yeah, that's fair. And he has looked really good in the preseason. Okay, let's go back to your QJ one for a second. Yes, Joshua Palmer sat out basically all of the preseason games with the starters when the starters sat out and whatnot, and it was QJ out there playing with the second unit and that sort of thing. Yeah, what's your read on it, Nez? What's your thought process there?
Well, we've seen in other teams rookies getting run without the starters, and case in point is Justin Jefferson his rookie year. We had a lot of FUD around him and what was going on with that situation. This is a different team. This is a different situation, and the situation is that Josh Palmer is not bad, despite what you might have heard. Josh Palmer doesn't suck. And Mike Williams and Keenan Allen are also on this team in front of them. That's 3 wide receivers, if you can count. And Quentin Johnson had a lot of question marks as a prospect coming into the draft.
I think this is a gift.
Love really, really warming up to Addison.
Doesn't that just feel like a gift when you start with like 3 non-wide receivers in the first 3, and then you just get like a huge ceiling play who you can also backstack right now?
Yeah, he feels amazing at this pick. Yeah. So like Addison's situation is different because if he can't beat out like Osborne, well, he's still in 3 wide receiver sets, guaranteed. Guaranteed he's in 3 wide receiver sets there. They're going to throw the ball a ton. We can trust the quarterback. Not that we can't trust Justin Herbert, but that's a very nice picture. I have trouble looking at this QJ stuff with the preseason usage and calling it noise. I think that's a bit of a signal just because like QJ has issues. He's had issues separating. That was one of his big things, is that he was just kind of relying on his like physical prowess to make his money in college football. Seems to me that there's some I'm a little concerned. I will say, like, his asking price, I can't do it right now because of these factors. Try not to put too much into rookie playing time in the preseason, but Josh Palmer, like they're not making Josh Palmer earn anything. That is really like it's the combination of that. But gotta love the Josh Palmer in the 18th round.
We joked about it for so long. Professional.
Dude, we've been on it from the goddamn jump. Literally since BBM opened, Josh Palmer just feels so good. Josh Palmer just like a fantastic click. And I love how well that's aged.
Yeah, likewise. I don't feel like we need to click running back anytime soon here. I like Bateman, Michael Thomas, or Treylon, I think. You guys agree, or do you guys want to go ahead and take one of the running backs?
No, I'm cool. Well, I'd do James Conner or Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas.
Okay, there we go.
Shout out Davis.
There you go. Yeah, mixed reviews on Michael Thomas right now at camp, but I mean,
what are the mixed reviews? I thought Underhill had one tweet at some point or another that said Michael Thomas looks great.
Yeah, I've seen like 2 things back and forth. I can't remember who else it was. I can't remember.
Shout out Davis.
Yeah, there we go. Shout out Davis with the pick. There you go. Yeah, I mean, this is fair. He did already have the concussion, was in concussion protocol. It is fair. The thing about like QJ is like QJ also had, I don't know, like Steve Smith Sr. really liked him. Like, not that I necessarily, I don't know, maybe I trust teams to do talent evaluation more so than ex-players, but he really liked the way he high-pointed footballs, the way he won contested catches, blah, 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 all that stuff. Yeah. Which is exactly what you're supposed to do if you're a big-bodied wide receiver like that, right? He's kind of like a throwback mold guy. For me, he just seems like Mike Will's replacement, and Mike Will's still there for one more year.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like a grooming thing, right? It feels like how the Packers treat a quarterback. I mean, he can definitely work his way in and be part of it, but I mean, and Mike Will and Keenan Allen are not beacons of health. Let's be realistic there.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know. The QJ stuff just, it doesn't feel like they like him yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's like Herbert is like a stubborn, veteran yet, where he like picks and chooses who he likes and who he's going to throw the ball to. But I think the team trusts the veterans right now a little bit more, and I just think it's fair to factor in like how raw he was coming into the draft and in this evaluation of his early season playing time. I just think if you take QJ I would be very cognizant of what he can give you for the first half of the season. And,
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
maybe that early buy will be good for him. That post buy rookie bump potentially, but just be careful. That's all. Just a word of caution.
Yeah. I mean, okay, like if we also think back that the way in which these wide receivers are going to be used is not going to be the same in which they were last year. Everybody knows about the Joe Lombardi scheme and how they use the X wide receiver and how they try to turn like Mike Will into Michael Thomas. It's basically what they tried to do last year. Offense is going to look so different with Kellen Moore rotating guys in and out of that slot position. Like Keenan Allen's going to line up on the outside way more than he has in the past, right? Like they're not going to have this like old school situation. Like look at how they use CeeDee Lamb, right? Like they moved CeeDee Lamb around all the formations last year until Mike McCarthy took over the offense when they were struggling a bit and what led to Kellen Moore leaving and blah, 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 right? Shoot, we are on the clock here. There is a ton of quarterbacks staring us in the face right now. None of which stack other than Cousins.
I think we just make Deshaun Watson work.
And do like a Njoku and shut it down at tight end?
Yeah. Or like get DPJ.
Okay. Someone tweeted at me this afternoon that DPJ is like Will Fuller in like with Deshaun Watson and nobody's talking about it. And I thought that was very interesting.
I love that
comp that we haven't talked through. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he definitely has that role. Like Elijah Moore has Jets, but that's not like what he does. He's not necessarily like a burner. That's DPJ. Like every time I think about DPJ or I feel like any ball I've seen DPJ catch, it's like 30 yards down the field.
Mm-hmm.
It would be nice to get Njoku here and shut it down. That would feel like very nice as a tight end room. I'm okay with stacking an elite with a mid tier for sure.
I did a very interesting build today. I actually shared it with you guys, but I'd like to know what your thoughts were because we didn't say anything earlier where I flipped the build and everyone's doing this or lots of people are doing it, but I took Mark Andrews and Lamar at the 101 with Jefferson. But then when I missed out on my backside stacks, I actually added Isaiah Likely to a Mark Andrews and Lamar team and then made it 3 tight end. And I kind of like handcuffed my Isaiah Likely with Mark Andrews because I don't think anyone else will do it.
No, that's I'm with Neumy.
It's probably different context, but I do that with Kincaid and Knox all the time with Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Feels very similar, but like cheaper.
Yeah. And there's no reason to say that they can't both get home and score in your flex if they both score a touchdown one isolated weekend. So it's like a little bit of a contingency value and it's a little bit of a bet on the offense. And then that quarterback it's different than handcuffing a running back because like that quarterback's going to score for you no matter what. If he scores 2 touchdowns, he's going to be scoring for you that week too. And then both those guys can score because they scored touchdowns, like literally score in your lineup. I mean,
Yeah, no, I really do like that. Likely with a second year player could like take a leap and like, see some like volume that he got last year, but that was part of Mark Andrews being hurt.
Do we stick to the thesis here?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got a really nice start at wide receiver and running back. This is like a luxury pick to like lock down tight end. And then because the thing is too, all these late end tight ends are going like earlier and earlier. People have identified the starting tight ends. They know, or they think they know who's going to be on the field. Now we don't have to worry about that. We don't have to play that arms race with late round tight end. So we're good there. We're good. But yeah, no, I like that. I like what you did with Likely.
Okay, let's think. I also think that the landscape of drafts is changing right now, where we're learning more, obviously, and the wide receivers are going higher. Those elite running backs are going higher because like there's more certainty attached to them. Then there's that hodgepodge middle uncertainty, and now I think we're more confident in like the back end running backs and guys that are not. That I'm really starting to take running backs that are in like that. I'm kind of fading running backs that are just sitting there in that RB like 14 to round 14 to 18 range, and just plucking wide or running backs outside that are going to be lower owned that I think have better or similar opportunity shares. And I think we've kind of set ourselves up beautifully to do something like that by taking 2 running backs early, not touching them for, 8 more rounds, 10 rounds, maybe something like this. And then back layering on, some unowned running backs.
Unowned or just like running backs we feel are clear RB2s?
A bit of A, a bit of B. I mean, okay, let's just talk about it for a second, because I'm really warming up to, Algier stands out to me here. Gainwell stands out to me here. The Rotorun news makes him stand out. Jeff Wilson, I've been all over, and Kendra, I've been all over. I really like those ones. And then after that, this kind of clumping, I'm just kind of fuck it. And then I just kind of keep scrolling, and I go, hey man, Clyde might lead in week 1. Evan Hall might lead in week 1 if JT's gone. Same with Deion Jackson. Just pick your poison there. Ty Chandler, they clearly like over everyone else there other than Madison. Kieran Williams, nothing but good things have happened for him. So I'm talking about not all the way scroll the F down. Take Rico instead of everybody else taking Deuce Vaughn, or in the past taking Malik Davis. I don't know. That's what I'm really thinking about right now, where it's I think I have a better grasp on some of the clarity that preseason had showed us. Ingram's another great name to add to that.
Yeah, Keontae is a lot of fun. I think Rico is probably the best pick out of all those right now. Just no love whatsoever in these underdog drafts. And everything points to him being the RB2 there.
I like it. Man, we are seeing some fun falls at the quarterback position. We could just stack Dak with Pollard, and then...
Yeah, Dak or Cousins. Cousins has the Watson bring back. We don't have a Detroit bring back.
Okay. You sold me with the bring back. I'm really
normally
thinking...
not a correlation bro, dude. I'm really not.
Go watch quarterback and you'll be fine. Go watch quarterback and you'll be fine that you drafted Kirk Cousins. In fact, you may end up drafting a lot more Kirk Cousins than you suspect to in the next, 13 days. Or
dude's tough, man. I've seen a little bit of it, and dude's tough. And I'm digging his mustache right now. He's got the Fu Manchu full handlebars mustache. I mean, yeah, he looks like he's pretty nails. I'm not gonna lie. I'm changing my opinion on his bitch ass, but
you had a great retweet saying he went from "I'll have your daughter home by 9" to "I'll tell you what I do, brother."
Yeah, which is so accurate.
I'm surprised that you haven't fully watched that yet. You're just your Hard Knocks guy. You're like, oh yeah, I already sat down and watched the first 2 episodes of Hard Knocks.
Yeah,
I know it's been out for a while, so that's been 2, but it's just I feel like
I got some ones on my list. That one's on my list. The Swamp Untold one and the Johnny Manziel Untold one. Those are both on my list too. I haven't watched either of those yet. Should we start thinking about running back here and doing Gainwell? He is kind of the last of a grouping for me in my mind.
McKinnon over Gainwell.
You like McKinnon over Gainwell?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Led them in snaps in the Super Bowl, baby.
All right.
Late season hammer over there, Jared McKinnon.
You guys are trying to save me from myself, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. No Lenny yet, buddy. No Leonard Fournette yet. Not yet.
The Gainwell's price right now, I think, is rich.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I have teams where he was my last round pick.
That's fair.
There's a lot of teams like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking about it wrong, but I think running back closing line value is probably one of the more significant things to pay attention to. And not only that, man, just there's a lot of backs in Philadelphia, right? Gainwell doesn't really stand out as somebody that has an elite ceiling. He just is in the offense and he's the longest tenured running back there. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, if they use McKinnon the way that they used him in the postseason, in the Super Bowl at the tail end of last year, even if it's just 12, maybe it's 8 to 12 touches a game, but they're all manufactured. They're all designed for him, and they're all high value touches, not in the sense that they're in the green zone or at the goal line, like not in the traditional sense of the usage of the word high value touch, but they're high value in terms as they're schemed for him. And I think that matters. Does that make sense?
It does. It definitely does. Yeah. I mean, if he has that bigger role than I'm expecting, then yeah, I think just like anybody being in, whoever it is in that backfield is obviously going to be extremely valuable. It's like a Bears bet, but that I'm making, right? It's just like, I don't care who it is. Like I want that backfield. It's just a little bit more expensive on the whole.
If we could go back in time and I 2v2 it for you guys, which would you prefer? Because my mental plan before you guys talked me into the Cousins with the bring back was Dak there. You take the ADP value and then Michael Gallup on the way back at 137. So instead we have Cousins and McKinnon, or we could have had Dak and Gallup.
Cousins and McKinnon or Dak and Gallup.
Yeah, I think that's a fine 1 or 2v2 there. And now that you bring that up, yeah, definitely would have been nice to have.
I wanted Osborne.
Yeah, to come back there. Yeah. That, if Osborne comes back to 152, it makes this look better for taking the Kurt one. Yeah, I don't know. I was just wondering.
And
I think I'm a little higher than on Dak than people are for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's dumb.
This is over 20 minutes ago, but yeah, Jack Long saying, as I just noticed, I'm going back here and I see a little shout out to the Minnesota State Fair. Had to get the little.
Is it the truth?
Oh, it's if you've never been, it's a spectacle.
No, we definitely have never been.
Well, that's if you've never been and it's not and/or on your bucket list, then you're not doing any get-togethers. It's a great Minnesota get-together. One of the greatest spectacles here in Minnesota, the State Fair. So yeah, shout out. Hope you went yesterday. It was beautiful weather. And who are we looking at?
Mingo, Hyatt, Pierce, Jeff Wilson, Spears.
The Thielen erasure just puts a bad taste in my mouth. I said it.
Well, Thielen? All right.
Yeah,
Thielen does not stack with Kirk. Just to make sure y'all know that.
Oh shit!
Yeah, just don't know if you don't know if you guys know he's
what?
He's in the baby blue this year. So.
Oh man.
I don't need to give the short route getting open in a phone book thesis anymore on Thielen. Thielen runs good routes and Bryce Young puts the ball on a dot. So.
I saw Adam Thielen could be 26 coming out, or it could be 23 coming out of college, and he would still be a dusty wideout that no one would click. So it doesn't even matter what age he is.
That's
just
fair.
saying.
Yeah, he can't fight. He can't get over those biases people hold against him.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, one of the other I don't know. We were saying that these other tight ends are getting pushed up and whatnot. Like Cole Kmet had some bad news over the weekend.
What happened?
They're using Mercedes Lewis, and then in 21 personnel, they're using Mercedes Lewis and the other guy they brought in from Green Bay.
And people care about that?
Could it not be that they're just not running their one tight end? Fair.
Yeah,
fair,
they just gave him a
definitely be
bunch of money.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Just caught a bunch of balls.
Do we just keep doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on my Jeff Wilson exposure here? Do we finally take a little bit of Zeke?
Jaden Reed or Jalen Hyatt is my choices for you. You can do what you want. Those are my answers.
Let's do Jaden Reed then, because it's double bring back.
I like that.
If one doesn't get home, the other one gets home in week 17 for us.
Good bet.
Okay.
It's a good bet, man. This team's getting to week 17, and you're going to love when the total reads 53.5 come week 17. You're oh, baby, I'm all over this game.
It very
I'm all
well
over
could,
this game.
too.
Yeah, it just depends on how efficient the Packers are, but I think they will be.
I like it. I had some other ones to talk through here, but I've kind of been bouncing around and put my things to the side. Oh, we got to talk about the Matthew Stafford narrative. Matthew Stafford.
Right. I wanted to talk about this. It's on the cover.
Set the scene. Set the scene for me on that one.
All right.
Brought it up and then I looked it up.
His wife, I believe her name is Kelly. If it's not Kelly, it should be Kelly. Kelly Stafford has a podcast, right? And she just word vomits in this podcast. And she's on this podcast talking openly about the locker room situation of the Los Angeles Rams, about how the most important player on the LA Rams feels about the locker room. And she's just like letting everybody know that Matt Stafford feels like he can't connect to his players and he doesn't know who is who because everybody in the locker room is on their phones anytime they're in the locker room. So Matthew Stafford has a book of faces, a literal face book, so he can memorize who is on his team.
No, he fucking doesn't.
She said this on her podcast.
He has like a photo book
of faces, so he knows. Okay, there's Puka Nacua. Okay, cool. That's Zach Evans. That's my new running back one. Yes, like she is telling us this on a podcast that Matthew Stafford doesn't know half the team. So what does that mean? That means it's Higbee season. That means it's Cooper Kupp season. It's Van Jefferson season, and
he's going. Yeah, he's
got Cam Akers there, buddy.
Yeah, he's playing the hits. So he's only playing the hits with guys he knows.
That is the takeaway there. Matthew Stafford knows who he knows, and that's who he's giving the ball to.
I mean, first reaction to it is this generation is shit. They are always just on their phones, and it's so annoying. I kind of feel bad for like kids, man. Like honestly, like kids going to like school and stuff now. Like I feel bad for them, man.
How are you supposed to fight off like the dopamine demon? You know what I mean? Like these big tech knows what everybody how to get everybody hooked. I mean, it's not their fault.
Yeah, man. These apps are designed to like keep you on them, clicking them like over and over again, right? Let's wait 1 second here, and then we know the see.
Pick, but
yep, I think we do.
These apps are meant designed to just keep you clicking over and over. Just like, I will not click Lenny Fournette again. I will not click Lenny Fournette again.
DPJ, we're all in agreement.
Hell fucking yeah.
I'm going to give you a yoy there. Let's do it.
Perfect. And then we could probably shut it down at wide receiver.
I think you're probably right. I mean, the counterpoint to that is, do you need 5 running backs when you spent a first and a second round on them?
I would still want 6 because you can, if you one of these running backs has the contingency nut rollout, then it's a really cheap like flex option for this team. It's kind of how I look at it.
I disagree, but
why?
I'm open to it when you share names in which you like. I just think when you spend like so much upfront capital pending the position, that it's like your thesis with the wide receivers thing, where you stop at 6 sometimes when you go 5 in the first 5 rounds. I just view it the exact same. I understand that the running back position is more apt to get hurt or whatever, but like if you spend a first and a second round pick on Bijan and Tony, like you should stop at 5 every single time, or else you're cutting yourself down at the ankles, I think.
I mean, we still have a flex spot to fill.
Yeah. I think it's better served in, I mean, maybe not on this team because we have Andrews, but like a third tight end, I'd prefer. Probably prefer a 9th wide receiver. I mean, maybe there's diminishing returns.
This used to be Luke Musgraves. You used to be able to reach. This used to be a reach for Luke Musgrave.
Yeah. Not anymore.
Unbelievable.
Okay. Samir White, contingent value, but got bad news today. I think we just start scrolling here. Taysom Wildcourt, Tank Dell getting good reports, could be part of that starting unit. Justin Ross, the same thing. Ty Chandler stacks and contingent value.
Yeah, let's do that.
That feels good.
Mm-hmm. And then
who's building Minnesota when they're building it? Cousins, Ty Chandler, and Addison. Anyone who builds Minnesota is building it with Hawk and Jeff.
Hawk and Jefferson, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good running backs late. Like you mentioned, like Kieran Williams. I think Kieran Williams is a really good pick right now too.
Yeah, I mean, we use good in quotations, because I think a lot of the stuff that we get this time of year is like fake fodder too, like where it's like we think we're getting smarter and we think we're learning more, and we're actually doing ourselves a disservice by pushing up like the wrong people up boards and stuff. Best Ball Viper, Best Ball Viper tagged us in a podcast or a tweet or something like that, where they looked back at like the highest risers in this window of last year, and it's laughable who like some of those players were.
For sure. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like some of these running back situations that kind of fit that mold. I think Tampa Bay is one. There's been a lot of like up and down with who's the RB2 in Tampa Bay. Is it Sean Tucker? Is it Keyshawn Vaughn? I think we know by now Keyshawn Vaughn is not a guy, not a dude, or he would have been the dude already. He's had a lot of opportunities to show that that he can play and hasn't. So I want people to think that Sean Tucker is like not the solidified RB2. I want to take the evil I don't know, and the guy that they signed who scouts like has some decent collegiate accolades. Like I'll take that guy instead of Keyshawn Vaughn as the RB2 in Tampa. That is probably more up for grabs than we think. I don't know that Rachaad White's going to walk into an 80% snap share just because that's how it looks.
Yeah. Here's another one. There's add to that. Jordan asking, can Edmonds burn us?
Oh man, Chase Edmonds.
Absolutely.
Totally. It just seems inconceivable right now because we've drafted hundreds and hundreds of teams, and you know, ADP is what it is, and you don't see Chase Edmonds on your screen when you draft. He could find a way into half the snaps. We were taking Chase Edmonds really early on the Dolphins, like really early.
Yeah, we were taking him in the 5th and 6th round. Him and Rashad Penny last year. It was like him, Rashad Penny, and Melvin Gordon were in like the 5, 6, or in the 4, 5, 6 round range. I'm going to talk about how we invented the dead zone.
Yeah, you made the sandwich.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, I don't know if he can burn you, but I think that is a name that I was totally forgetting in the Sean Tucker rant, is that Chase Edmonds is there for sure. 2 more picks.
I really like the pick that T-Bear put in the chat. We took him 50 picks above ADP because the guys didn't know how to use the queue last night.
Mecole.
And it's a nice little bring back off of our Cleveland stuff. And we're talking about dudes who were going at the 3-4 turn, you know, a calendar year ago or 2 years ago. Here's another one.
Yeah, for sure.
Was he really going that high?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mecole went where
Chief,
Tony was going at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then Juju was the Mecole of the following year. And then it's happened like 3 years in a row now.
Insert Chief potential wide receiver 1.
Yeah, exactly. Where'd Tony go today?
Heavy emphasis on the air quotes on that.
He went at 100 today.
Let's see. I'm going to look at my last year's. Was it last year or the year before?
Before. Because last year was Juju's turn to be that guy.
Yeah, he was going in the 11th round last year.
Yep.
Oh, I got to really scroll through my underdog results to find that.
Yeah, you literally.
I want to find one
every
example.
Battle Royale, every whatever.
At least there's only 17 Battle Royales and not 162 plus slates like baseball.
Like baseball. Yeah.
there is that.
I think we cap this off with a running back. I don't want to handcuff Pollard and take Rico. I don't mind doing something cheeky by putting like CEH and McKinnon together. That feels
I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that.
Joshua Kelly feels okay. Chris Evans is hurt right now. Ingram we alluded to.
I think you do CEH.
All right, let's do it.
Like 18th round Clyde. I'll take that bet, man. I'll like that. That's nothing.
18th round Clyde feels better than 12th round Rishi Rice.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, I'm pulling up. Let's see where Mecole was going in 2021. Do a little Control F. Mecole. Yeah, round 9. So
You gotta get what's the date on that draft?
Oh God, I don't know. I wasn't dating these. It was a pretty late one.
In theory, they're in order. Because McCole Hardman during the draft window of that year pushed all the way up, and then he got like all this steam, and then he got hurt in the preseason, and then fell back a little bit.
Let's see.
I'm like 90% certain. I swear.
I don't know. I'm having trouble finding him like before
round 9 or something. Okay. Well, maybe I'm full of shit then. No, I'm like quite certain that I saw him routinely going like 4, 5, 5, 6 turns. Yeah.
Jeez, man, these drafts are a blast from the past. I'm looking at this one right now. First 6 picks are not wide receivers.
Who are they?
In 2021?
Yeah.
Christian, this is mine. Christian McCaffrey went 1. To your boy. Right. Dalvin Cook went 2. I don't know how much you guys want to guess. I can just name them.
Yes.
I thought you were just going to name them, but Saquon, Zeke.
What was Saquon hurt? Saquon went 18 here. I don't know why. Oh, because he had some injuries early.
Coming back from the ACL.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara went 3.
Yeah.
Henry 4, Zeke 5, and then number 6 was Travis Kelce. Perpetual 6th pick in the draft.
Yeah, just forever, evergreen.
Wow, that is an unreal draft.
Kamara at 3.
Oh, dude, this team is awful too that I have.
Best Ball Viper bringing up the fact that Kyler went undrafted. This is actually an interesting talking point right now.
Wow.
Do you think there's any leverage to? I mean, I've already got too much Kyler. I was clicking Kyler all the way through until he got like pretty high. But like, is there any leverage in 20th round Kyler right now? Do you guys think they're just going to shut him down for the year and just give up when they go 0-4 to start the year and just say, "Hey, man, we're new coaching staff. We'll get him next year"? Or I don't know. Is there leverage in taking Clayton too?
I think it's football and it's different. And I think if he's ready to come back and play, they're going to give him the keys and he's going to come back and take over. And it could be like, oh, it's a lost season, but we're going to recoup everything that we could possibly have missed in training camp early in the season, get it back, start on the right foot, so it's not just fresh. So that's how I view it. But I could see it going either way, where it's like, just like you said, lost season, shut it down, don't risk anything else. He's not ready to go, but I don't know. Like I said, I think football's a little different, where it's just like, hey, rather than shut it down, it's just like, hey, we're just gonna run. If he's ready to go and come out there, like sell tickets, get the franchise quarterback out there. So,
yeah, fair enough. I'm seeing some baseball chat in here and stuff. I saw it mentioned before. We'll go through all of our advancing teams if we even have any. But we'll go through them all tomorrow on the MLB show on the other channel and do that sort of thing. But we're gonna have to wrap it up there today, or at least Doomy is. I don't know. Nez, we done here? Yeah, we're done here.
Yep. Yeah, we're going. We're going out. We got some errands to run. I gotta hit the store. Gotta grab a protein for dinner.
Yeah. Rather than Nez catching lunch, he's got to go and get a little dinner now. So
Nez always hungry, man. He's hungry to get in the streets here. I also, if we wrap it up right now, I got time to get some MLB in before lock here. We got the Braves in Coors. And this might be the first slate in ever. I'm forced to fade Coors because I haven't done volume at all today.
It's the second contest, and you have 7% left with 15 minutes. So you better end it quick if you want a single entry in there.
Oh, geez. Man, they filled 2 contests today. Dave, we're experimenting. We're experimenting here because we're thinking through. Let us know in the Discord. Let us know here if you guys kind of like this start time and whatnot. There's a lot of pros to it because come season time, we can do a little in quotations live before lock TM to a brand that's not ours, but we will rename something like that and do it but for the underdog drafts. And we could be jamming NBA before lock, we could be jamming the main slate, footballs before lock on Thursdays and that sort of thing. So certain days of the week, it will not be the time for Friday, but outside of maybe Friday and Wednesday, it could be, but we're revamping the schedule a little bit here and we're going to see what works. So All the feedback in the world is appreciated. But do us a favor, hit that like, that subscribe, that notification bell on your way out the door. Use promo code MLB at sign up for Underdog Fantasy. They'll give you a 100% match deposit up to 100 USD. The Nez puck model, it's coming, baby. It's coming.
Ooh.
It's in the shop, huh?
It is. We're adjusting some tweaks, trying to figure out who's to play, who's not. Just give us some time. Got to calibrate.
I like it.
Who's not?
Yeah. I think this would be so fun, Nick. Like doing hoops before lock and just, getting the news while we're sitting here and just like crazy shit happening. Like, oh, he's been scratched. And like we're in the middle of a draft trying to get IQ.
Oh,
and
man.
I think it would, it would make for some really good, for some really good content.
Randall's out. Randall's out. He's not in. We thought it's Brunson's in this time. Oh, my God. Oh, I had all the IQ.
Yeah, Neumy's going to be throwing shit, breaking stuff. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, you can use your Neumy tilt emotes to the fullest there. So
Exactly.
Yes, sorry for the false advertisement. It was going to be both. We went a little long in the beginning, showing off our exposures and talking through some stuff. We'll do weekly winners sometime this week. We'll do it sometime this week. I promise. I promise. If not, I'll fire up an Unhinged and do a solo weekly winners. I promise. Anyways, any parting words, gentlemen?
Good luck in the baseball contests. Good luck to the best ball people who have semifinals teams, and we'll see you tomorrow in those lobbies.
Couldn't have said it better myself. All right. Best of luck tonight. Everybody's favorite time of the show. The end. Peace. Appreciate you. Oh, missed it.